Yo, 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 Blam here from SC2Strat.net, bringing you a TVP matchup between a Grandmaster's Protoss player, EXO, up here in the purple base, playing as Protoss, and a Masters Terran player, Snick Snipes, down here in the violet base. Always nice when you have two colors pretty close together. Now I'm going to do my best to kind of cast this whole thing as a pretty epic battle. As always on SC2Strat.net, we're really trying to emphasize different strategy elements as opposed to just bringing you a straight-out game cast. And so this one we're calling Come On In. There's one element in this game that I just love where basically the Violet Terran player is pushing in on the purple Protoss player. He sees him coming, and rather than hitting him head-on, he uses some good positioning to basically outflank him. He splits up his units, puts them on the north and south, has a pretty crucial feedback on the Soul Ghost, and lets the Violet player march in so that he can get better positioning. And that's what we want to emphasize in the strategy element in this game, is that positioning play, and how positioning your units, how you attack, where you attack is just so crucial, right? Obvious to point out a ton of easy things here. When you have such high-level play, there's all kinds of strategy elements you could point out, but that's the one we're going to pay attention to. That's the one we're going to focus on. Both scouts kind of moving out here. So some good stuff. We'll turn the hit point bars on for you guys. So we're going to speed it up a little bit here. You want to watch the whole thing. You want to watch it at your own pace. Check out SC2Strat.net. You can download the SC2 replay file there. And actually, there's quite the bonus on that because this is an observer match. EXO and Snick Snipe actually do a ZVP. Snick Snipe plays Zerg right before this match. You notice, we're 13 and a half minutes in this replay when it really hasn't been going that long. So there is a game right before this match where these two play as Zerg versus Protoss, and that's a pretty good duel as well. This is the better game. This is the one we want to highlight. And I think there might even be some matches on some Diamond players on this same file right after this. So check out SC2Strat.net, get that SC2 replay file, and you can check it all out at your own pace there. So we're going to speed it up just a tish here so we can get into the meats. You know me, I don't like to try to fill you guys with mindless drivel while these guys are just getting their builds going, right? So both players end up getting a fairly quick expansion. Snick Snipe's going to protect his with this bunker and actually a number of other bunkers. And meanwhile, EXO is pushing out here. I'll slow it down just a tad. Notice he's not going to do too well against that bunker with his, one of each there, right? The Stalker, Zealot, and Sentry. So he's going to drop a proxy pylon here. He's got one right here in the edge of this space, which allows him to drop down here as well, which is pretty good positioning. Protect that pylon from visibility, yet still be able to warp in units down here, right? So both players are going to kind of stick to their respective bases and mass up some forces here. Sorry, I'm just messing around here. Let's get the production tab up for you guys so you can kind of check some of those things going on out there. You can see charge being researched, and just some Marines really being pumped out from Snick Snipe here, right? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks. Got that tech lab going down, getting his 5th barracks. And EXO is going to push out a little bit here. Runs into an SCV scout there. About 5 Zealots, a Sentry, and a Stalker there pushing out. Got one more Zealot back here. And some good positioning play. Going to get the proxy pylon down here in the weeds where it's hidden from visibility. So know your maps, kids. Know where you can position things and get away with sneakier stuff like that, right? At the time this was recorded, Snick Snipe was a master player. EXO is a Grandmaster's player. I didn't see that he had any games posted this season. This was from last season, early last season actually. So Breaking the Rocks here wants to make his 3rd expansion a little easier to get to. Meanwhile, Snick Snipe's just bunkered up, wants to make sure he gets full saturation down here. Gets that healthy economy flowing, right? Looks like a few more zealots joined the pack there. Got your fourth assimilator down there, 2 up top, researching the armor. He actually does pretty heavy armor upgrades on his units, I noticed by the end. He might get +1 attack, and he ends up with +3 armor, which can be crucial when facing a Terran opponent who's using Ghost. You know, you can zap my shields, but I'm still going to have the armor on my hit points, right? So, pretty good tactic there. Protoss facing Terran. Similarly, Snick Snipe's going to break the rocks up here. He wants to make sure he can get his third expansion when needed. Another pylon goes down back here. Probably more so for visibility than anything else, right? If Snick Snipe wants to sneak some medevacs up top here and try to drop over here, he's going to catch him a little bit earlier with that visibility right there, assuming he takes that kind of standard outer path along the map, right? So the rocks fall down, moves the units back out. He's going to unload the Marines and push out, salvage those bunkers, get those resources back. Hey, I got the army to defend that, right? And the single Ghost moves out here. So here's that, and he does have the 1 high tempo. So here's, I believe this is where the whole strategy element I wanted to showcase comes into play, right? XO knows that, hey, this Terran opponent's moving in. He says, you know what, go ahead. He splits his forces to the winds, moves half of his forces up there, half of his forces down here, and says, come right in. Boom, crucial feedback right there. Just zapped all that Ghost energy. And then boom, moves in on the flank, right? Who does that, right? Who sees forces moving towards them and actually backs away from them? Well, Grandmaster's player is the type of player that can do that, right? He says, you know what, you want to come at me? Fine. I'm going to let you walk in, splitting my forces out, going to get a flank on you. Now these Marines do fare pretty strong, right? But that's okay, he's got the income, he's got the resources, warping in some zealots. You can see the hit points they're all pretty well damaged. It isn't going to take much to take these guys down. And there it is. So literally, guys, that was the whole point of this video, to show you the positioning makes such a key difference in battle, right? XO saw those units moving in. Rather than taking them head on, he wants to get the positioning advantage. He moved them up. He saw that crucial feedback from the High Templar onto the Ghost, took away all that Ghost energy, so that he couldn't drop any EMPs and do any sort of area of effect damage to the Protoss shields. So definitely crucial micro with that High Templar. And then he just split his forces, right? He split half of them down there, half of them up there. As soon as Snick Snipe moved right into this area, he flanked him from both sides. He had the charge on the Zealots, which helped him get an easier surround by sandwiching there. And it was just a really smart play. So take that away from this video, guys. Positioning means quite a bit when you're attacking. And it certainly played a key role there. So again, here he is splitting up his units. He's got some going high, some going low. He can warp in more units down here. He can warp in more units right there. He's warped in an extra HT right there. Boom, closing in from all sides again, right? Another Psionic Storm goes down there. And Snick Snipe, you know, fared fairly well there. Going to play a drop up top here. We got extended thermal land speed research. We got some Colossus coming out. This would be crucial timing for that Colossus to come out. I think he just chrono boosted that a second ago. So that Colossus could not have got there any quicker. These Zealots move in. Colossus able to clean things up. And the third expansion goes down for both players. So obviously both these guys right on top of their macro game, able to keep a healthy stream of units coming in. Snick Snipes work with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 barracks. Factor in the fact that 5 of them have tech labs, and you're really